Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Who knows where we'll go, what video games we'll see. Every episode is a journey and you're guaranteed to see something you've never seen before. These are the video games of November 1982. We were last in the arcade playing Hard Hat, the very rare Hard Hat. Let's see what our next game is. We're next going to play on the Atari home computer. This is Hopper. Hopper, I believe we've seen games called Hopper, but this is a completely different one. This is from Softside Magazine, which means we're going to be typing in and playing another game. I got a better scan for Softside Magazine. This is a type-in game that got the cover of a magazine. There he is. There's Hopper. Not to be confused with another frog in the arcade. Completely different. You flip to the right page, and here it is. All about what Hopper's all about. It has a TRS-80 version, which we won't see on the show. We're going to be playing the Atari version and Apple version. And the documentation is shown here by Fred Kondo. Way to go, Fred. It is available with joysticks. So imagine you're opening up a magazine. You have a free way to play Frogger right here. All you got to do is spend the time to type it in. Awesome. Let's type it and play some Hopper. This is by Rich Bouchard and Alan J. Zett. Whenever you typed it in November 1982. This marks our 390th game we've played on the Atari home computer. We're almost to 400 video games for the Atari home computer. That's a lot of games. Softside Magazine and Softside Publications, whatever you want to call it. This is the 32nd game we've seen from those magazines. Or magazine publications. And this is the 85th game we've had to type in to play. We actually don't type them in here on the show. That would take too long. Thankfully, someone's typed them in for us. Thank you, whoever you are. Yes, when we get to that, he definitely will be. Of all the games we've played to this point, this is the fourth game by Rich Bouchard. And he's done Gambler, Solitaire, and Escape from the Dungeon of the Gods. Alan J. Zett, we've already seen too. He's done, this is the second game we've seen him do. Hexapon is another game that he's done. So we can move the joystick for instructions and go. Our mission is to move frogs into bunkers. Bunkers, okay. Move onto the logs, avoid snakeheads, use bodies, avoid cars. Yeah, they're explaining Frogger to us, as if we didn't know. But no, this is totally different. This is Hopper. The joystick's used to move the frogs at a time. The time bar is displayed at the bottom of the screen. When this runs out, your frog expires. All right, got it. There's our point values. And just remind you, all this was typed in. A very cool presentation so far for a type-in video game. All right, press our button on our Atari VCS joystick to go. And it's coming in. Look at that. Wow, really, really cool. Yeah, so no animation coming from Hopper. He doesn't need all those fancy animations like you saw from before. I do have some high-res artifacting turned on, so this is kind of like what it would look like on your screen in 1982, but there are some elements of this that are black and white. The artifacting provides a little bit of color. I'm already noticing the control seems a little bit slow, so as I'm moving Hopper around, there's a lag. There's a slight delay when you consider the other games we played. Especially, we played some official Froggers recently, and going from official Frogger, or some really nice controls, controlling Frogger to Hopper, I can tell the difference. There's a little lag. You can see it's working pretty well, though. They refresh the screen every single time, but it's Frogger. A free Frogger right there in the magazine. If you're fairly familiar with BASIC and you want to spend the time typing it in, go for it. I love Frogger, and so this is really cool that you could get something free like this. Congratulations. High score adding up. This is a very well done type-in game. Oh, right? Yeah. When we think of the worst Frogger games we played up to this point, this is amazing that this is a free type-in game, and it's playing better than some of the other Froggers we saw that were actually released. A cassette that you paid for, or a box that you paid for. Awesome. Look at that. No alligator. We got a snake. Nice touch. So it doesn't have a lot of the charm we've seen from some other really high-quality Frogger releases. There was another one called Princess and Frog on the Atari. It looks similar to this, but had a kind of a medieval theme to it. And so it reminds me of a non-animated Frogger version, but I would say that one was even more charming. And at this point, there's a lot of Frogger variants out there. This one is the 31st variant of Frogger. That's not official. It is a game that's pretty much exactly like Frogger, or close enough to Frogger, inspired by Frogger. 31 other games on all other systems that you could be playing right now. Yeah, isn't this great? Yeah, it had to have had something mixed in with machine language. It couldn't have been all basic. I don't believe it. So there you go, the 85th typed-in game that we've had here on Chronologically Gaming. Wow, very well done for a type-in game. We usually rate all these games across all home computers, and usually it's unfair. When you play a type-in game, you know it's free, so you're really not expecting as much. This was actually impressive. And I usually feel bad for type-in games rating them so low, but this one's actually all right. Of all the games you can be playing right now across all home computers, the only downside really is that lag. I'm looking over the chat, and you have to play it for yourself to feel the lag. I could say maybe bad just because it's just so simplistic, but it gets the job done, and it works very well. I'll say 2.5 stars of all the games you could play right now across all home computers. Yeah, and the chat's with me. I see a couple 2.5s too. All right, after that hopper, we got another hopper to play. Our next game we're going to type in and play on the Apple II. This is Hopper. Same issue, same magazine from Softside. Everything's right here to play Hopper on the Apple II. Let's type in and play some Hopper. This one's by Carrie Shetline. Softside magazine, the beginning of November 1982. Whenever you typed it in. This is the 407th game we've played on the Apple II. The Apple II has crossed the 400 video games of all the ones you could play. Another one, look at this, programmed for the joystick on the Apple II. I don't think we've seen a type-in game on the Apple II that has that, but I'm totally using the joystick. Yeah, analog joystick, let's go. The 33rd game we played by Softside Magazine, our 86th type-in game, and the 32nd Frogger variant. 32 games that are kind of like Frogger. Man, it shows you how influential or big it is that people want to copy it so much. All right, here we go. Oh, looks completely different. This appears to be redrawing the screen or refreshing every time. Whoa, the lag on this is way more. Oh my goodness, this is barely able to. I can't even describe. Maybe I can do my best. But Frogger still has no animation. Hopper has no animation, just like Hopper on the Atari home computer. But the way that Hopper moves is so slow. I'm going to say I'm moving the joystick now, and then he jumps. I'm going to move the joystick now. So this is like playing Frogger, but you have to plan ahead. You don't get to go when you want to go. You get to go when the game says you can go. Keep on trucking. Oh, poor Hopper. You know, this feels like if Frogger was going to be played right now, like a really, really old frog who needs to retire, that's what this feels like. It is slow motion. I wonder if it would fare differently on a different Apple II system. Maybe with more memory. What? That was on the log? That one doesn't even count when you go to the edge? Yeah, this one is rough. Very, very slow. But again, it's free. So if you spent the time to type this in and play, you would have a blast. Because you'd find something to make it worth your while. Here on the show, though, because we play everything, we've seen everything. I've seen things, man. We've seen too much. This, of all the Frogger variants you could play, it's way low at the bottom of the barrel. Whoa, that's digging low, Charlie, if you want to play a Tiger handheld compared to this one. It is really slow. And the joystick is nice that it's featured here, but it doesn't really do it justice. I'm not even going to finish the whole round. It's too slow for us, for my taste. Of all the games you can play across all home computers, that seemed more like a type-in game. It still is really impressive. For a type-in game that's free is pretty cool. But I'm going to have to go even lower than all the games. I'm going to say bad of all the games you could play up to this point. If you twisted my arm, maybe 2 stars, but I'm going to have to go lower than that. It's not broken. It does respond, and it does work. But yeah, I see a slow 1 from there. I'll be a little bit more generous. I'll say 1.5 stars. Still around the bad range of all the games across all home computers. Whoa, that was slow. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Our next game is Horace Goes Skiing. Horace is back on our Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Let's check it out, starting with the box. Can you believe it? Horace is already back. We already saw Hungry Horace earlier this year, so in the same year, he already has a sequel. The unofficial, maybe official mascot of the Spectrum, with his dead white eyes staring at us as he slides down the mountain. I think they had the same graphic, but they just put him on skis. My Scion software with Melbourne House. Nice. And to my knowledge, it doesn't really do like Horace does from Hungry Horace. Flip it over, you can see it's the sequel to the very successful Hungry Horace. The Horace series of pioneers the idea of interactive cartoons. He's going to slalom down the mountain between flags. Yes. Very colorful here on the ZX Spectrum. Yes, if he is one of your flavors of horror, then prepare to be scared. What other artwork do we have for Horace Goes Skiing? Besides the box, there it is, our Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Whoa, never looked that new in the top left. No way. Ours is going to be grungy, sticky, and maybe a little slimy. There's the cassette tape we're going to pop into play on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. All we got to do is load skiing. Very, very nice. This marks the 124th game we've played on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. And mind you, this micro just came out this year. It was available for mail order in April. And so 124 games, most of them, we've done some type-in games too, but there's still just amazing that there's that many already out there. All right, so the inside sleeve of Horace Goes Skiing just explains everything. Before Horace can get to the ski slopes, he has to fetch his skis from a hut on the other side of the busy road. He'll move in the 4 directions using those keys right there, and I believe some versions have the cursor keys. At the beginning of the game, Horace has $40 to spend. We got money? Horace has currency? If he's knocked down, it'll cost him $10 in ambulance fees. After Horace has successfully crossed the road, guide him to the door of the hut where he'll fetch his skis. So we have to go buy skis? We've never done that for a skiing game. The charge for skis is $10. He has to enter the hut, and he has to be able to afford the skis. This is so bizarre. So a very fun lore for a skiing game with Horace. If he spent all his money on ambulance fees, he can accumulate points and money by crossing the road repeatedly. We're going to be going to the ambulance is going to be picking us up? Yes, that's right, Sisters of Mercy. I am loving it. So even more here explaining how the game works, making sure you pass through the red and blue pairs of flags, how many points you get. Lots of fun stuff. And if you want to have louder sound effects, amplify the Spectrum by inserting the lead between the microphone sockets of the Spectrum and tape recorder. Yes. Bring it on, Beam Software. And then there's more loading instructions right there. All right. We do have lots of other versions of this one. In Spain, he's known as Horacio. So Horacio, or Horace, was available also for the Timex Sinclair 1000 in 1983 and Sinclair Research for a few ones. Let's pop in and play the very first one. This is Horace Goes Skiing by William Tang, Scion Software, beginning of November 1982. Did that title screen wake you up or what? So Horace begins. He's already running back and forth. I can control him. There you go. It's keyboard controlled only, and so I'm able to move him left and right. If I go down, it begins as if we're playing Frogger. We got to go buy the skis, so I got to make my way across the busy street, but I already died. I got an ambulance fee. Go, go, go. Okay, buy the skis. You have to work for your skis. We've never seen that for a skiing game. So cool. So quaint. Yes, we died so many times, so we have to try to be able to make it across, and we're still not making it. We're using all our money. We have no cash now, which means we better make more quickly. Look how crazy this is. The coolest road of Frogger, though. It is the most unpredictable road of Frogger. I love it. Sorry, we have no money to ski, so we didn't do it. We'll just breeze past the title screen. This is done by William Tang. Way to go, William. He also did Hungry Horace and Strike Force, or worked on it on the TRS-80. Look at this Frogger. I mean, look how amazing the traffic is. It's very, very well done. Especially that it's on the ZX Spectrum. Can we buy our skis? Yes. We have the money. Oh man, those motorcycles are brutal. You gotta be so fast. Gosh. Alright, let's see if we can get across. I have to figure out my strategy because we got two different... Oh, man, I really thought I had it that time. Poor Horace. We don't have enough money to ski because we have to pay to ski. Go. Oh, man. It still is fun. I could understand you being like a kid excited that this is a new Horace game, and you get it, and your first expression is, oh, this is awesome. It's going to be like Frogger. And then you realize how difficult it is. You're like, I'm not even able to ski as Horace. Gosh. Still quaint and fun. We will get across, and we will get the skis. With maybe a little luck. I mean, look at that. Look at the crazy traffic. Well done. We played lots of Frogger variants. This is the 33rd variant of Frogger, and this one has the most unique traffic. Look at that. We have motorcycles changing lanes. And look at that ambulance. The ambulance actually hit us. And we had to pay the money. I can't believe it. Do we have any money to ski? I don't think we can pay for it now. We can. Yes, we're skiing. Okay, whatever you do, Horace, don't die. So this one is controlling, again, still with the cursor keys, 5, 6, 7, and 8, or if you're using the letter keys. We got to make it through the different flags. That's how we're going to be able to gain some money if we can. Yeah, so it's skiing. We've seen this before on several home computers, just a few consoles, but skiing as a video game works really well. This top-down skiing scrolling is awesome. At this point, we have seen some really impressive skiing. This is not like blowing my mind skiing, but so we did crash. But I like how it says, "Lucky, your skis are still okay, even though you just plowed right into a pine tree." So cool. This is the 16th skiing video game we've seen on the show of all the games that you could be playing at this point. Skiing video games, one of the most impressive ones we played was on the TRS-80 color computer. It was a first-person skiing game, and some of the other ones we've seen are like this. They're just auto-scrolling. You just got to move yourself down to the slopes without crashing into trees. Looks like, oh, bad luck. The skis broke. And you know what? We are broke. We don't have enough money. We can't pay anything back right now. Yeah, the visuals are really similar to some of the other skiing games. Top-down, auto-scrolling, hardware. Oh, am I going to make it? I don't believe it. Horace got so lucky that time. And we have no money to... Oh, that was it. We used all the money on skis. And so I love how it sits Horace at the top of the hill. Sorry, you don't have any money. You're just going to sit here and try again. We start with 40 bucks. That's great. That's actually a cool idea when you think of lives. It's a different way instead of just showing lives, and so creative. It's quaint. It's awesome. It's Frogger and it's skiing. Very first time we've seen that. There is no video game that combines Frogger and skiing. Gosh, that's an awesome street. Yeah, we can't ride the lift back. We need to get a ticket for it, right? We're going to see this game later on the Commodore 64 and the Dragon 32. And I'm looking forward to it. Horace Goes Skiing is completely different than Hungry Horace. If you didn't check out that one, Hungry Horace was essentially like Pac-Man. But it was Pac-Man that was taking place on multiple screens. And it was fantastic. If we were rating all the games you could play across the Sinclair's ZX Spectrum right now, you know, the brand new one, it was a 5-star game. This one is not playing in the same way as Horace, but you got to admit, this is really, really fun. Cool idea, mixing Frogger and skiing together. I wouldn't give it the 5-star rating across everything you could play on the Sinclair's ZX Spectrum, but it's still very well done. Ready? Yes, go. And such a cool idea. All right, so I'm enjoying the skiing. It works well enough on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is still very impressive, very new, and very fun. Of all the games you could play across all the home computers, though, that's where it gets interesting. There's a lot of games out there that are still very fun. Oh, yes! Bonus points. We got money. Do we get money? Or just points? I don't want points. I want cash. I think that's all we got was... Yeah, we do have a score, and we have cash. Too cool. So there you go. That's Horace Goes Skiing. Really awesome idea. Let's do a sequel, but let's not make the sequel in the series exactly like Horace. So cool. Of all the games you can play across all home computers, I would say this one is still 3.5 stars. Starting at above average, maybe if you twisted my arm, I go to 4 stars for all the games you can play, because the 2 game modes, for the Frogger one's difficult, but I have to admit how impressive it is that they got the traffic like that. Looking over in the chat, especially if you're horrified of Horace, I'd love to know what you would rate it right now in November 1982 across all the other home computers. Charlie saying 3.5 stars. Yeah, the creative mashup. Oh yes, 4 from 4 from Charlie too. Yeah, 3. I'll still say 3.5 stars. It's above average. It's not as impressive. I said 4 stars for Hungry Horace. I would still rate that one over this one, just barely. So 3.5 stars for Horace Goes Skiing. Still fun. All right, with that, let's press forward and see our next game. We're still going to play on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Inheritance. Inheritance. We haven't played any video game dealing with inheritance. Here is the box or cassette case for Inheritance. Not really explaining too much. Got some cartoony graphics. Are we getting our inheritance? Taking our inheritance? I'm not really sure. This box is one of the first examples of this game. This was re-released several times, and the original was done by Simon W. Hessel, who's on the front. Self-published, or Simon W. Hessel software. I'm not sure what the cartoony vibes are, but you'll see when we boot the game up. What other artwork do we have for Inheritance? This is our 125th game that we played on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Here's the box you may have seen later. This is the re-release by Microgen. There we go. Smoking some cigars, getting some cash. That's Inheritance. And if we open up the inside sleeve of that one, it explains how the game works, but we'll explain once we boot it up. There's an example of the screenshot. Maybe it is 5 in someone's mind. I hope not. So this one was released with several different versions that Simon W. Hessel did, and then the later re-release by Microgen. We're going to play the very first one. Here it is, Inheritance. Simon W. Hessel in the beginning of November 1982. The only other game we've seen by Simon Hessel was Great Britain Limited, one of the very first government simulation games. All right, we're in. Inheritance. Now, the date here is interesting. I couldn't find very many references of July 1982 for the release, so I'm wondering if it was developed, or maybe the version 1 was July, but there is reference for November as a release too, so tell me in the comments when the real release of Inheritance was. All right, our great uncle Arbuthnot is dead. You stand to inherit your great uncle's entire estate, but first, you must prove your financial acumen by turning £10,000 into £100,000 within 26 weeks. So the game's split into 2 parts. The first part allows us to invest our money, like you can see here, in the stock market. We can invest in metal, casinos, racetracks, and stuff, and then we'll have to deal with relatives who try to trick us and divert our attention. When we raise the money, you can move on to part 2. Part 2, if we get to it tonight, is going to have where we successfully inherited the Pugsley Manor and the surrounding estate, which includes a soft drinks factory. Our aim is to find the secret formula for a potentially lucrative soft drink, market it, and become a millionaire. Much easier said than done. That's what this game is all about. And this is all keyboard and all text. So now we're just going to invest in stocks. Let's go with chemicals, because I got one word for you. Plastics. How much do we want to invest in chemicals? Let's do, we got £10,000. Let's do £1,000 in chemicals. And then we can invest in aerospace. Let's do that one. 190 each one. Let's do 2,000 for that one. And you see it's slowly whittling down our total amount of money. And then we have a motor car. Let's invest in that one. Why not? Yeah. Yeah, this one's with a twist. It's a stock market business simulation with different elements added onto it. So it's not just straight, can you make the right decisions? It's going to have some weird twists they throw our way. All right, so how much do we want to invest in motor car? Let's do 3,000. I don't know if I should use it all or not, because we only got 10,000. All right, so let's just say we're done. That's all we'll invest in. That's right. We are going to need those chemicals for all the soft drinks later, right? All right, so next we do the metal exchange of what we can get for platinum, gold, silver, copper, lead, and zinc. So this one is just investing. So we got $4,000. Let's go with gold. Got to go with gold. And then what do we want? Invest. Let's do 2,000 in gold. We're spending all of our inheritance first on the stock market, and we'll just say we're done. Let's keep going to the next one. Let's see how far we can go with our inheritance. Very weird idea. All right, so the weekly report. Let's see how well we did. Looks like they're showing the changes. So everything's going up. Look at the price of the stocks. Okay, nice. Looking good. And you have to look at the before and after. Okay, so 6,200, that's pretty good. All right, so can we just go to the next section, or we have to make the right decision? Okay, well, let's see. Platinum went up. Gold went up by 60 a share. Nice. If you're not familiar with the business simulation genre, we're playing every video game here. And so what this is doing is it's just giving us a track total of the decisions we made. And that's kind of like what these business simulation games go. All right, so let's do enter to continue. So we're doing good. We got 10 grand. And then here's the twist. This game is not just a stock market simulation game. It's got gambling. So you can use the money of your choices and add gambling to the mix. We haven't seen that. It's a combination business management simulation and gambling. It's so cool. So I want to see what's the blackjack like. I'm pretty good at blackjack. Let's gamble our money away. Okay, so press enter to show our card. We didn't bet anything. All right, here we go. How much do we want to bet? We got a king. Oh yeah, let's go big. Can we go 1,000 pounds? We can. Yikes, we can use 1,000 pounds of our inheritance. All right, so here we go. What do we got? 19. And looks like the dealer's got a jack. Great. Or the bank. Darn, they had blackjack. Dealer always wins. I know, isn't that cool? Cool option that you can just blow it all on blackjack. And we can also bet on horses too, right? Oh, so it's going to the next week. So this is a turn-based game. We just did the first turn, the first week, and now we're making decisions on the next week. Okay, so let's see which one will go. I bet petroleum will go up. So let's go. It jumped really high. So let's invest. Let's say 2,000 on petroleum, and let's say looks like Motorcar did all right. Let's say it's going to do good, and let's do another 1,000 on that. So you kind of have to watch the trends as if you're playing a stock market simulation game, but then you also have to, take a risk, maybe do some gambling. Oh, I don't know, man. That'd be a cool idea. The other part I'd like to see is what happens when your relatives get involved, and do they ask you things, or you have to make decisions based on throwing a relative out because they're giving you problems. All right, so platinum is doing great. Let's go ahead and invest. We can 2 grand in that, and then we have gold. Let's do gold. And let's do 1,000 for the gold. That's looking good. It's processing it all. Oh, and then we want to do G to finish. There we go. Yeah, cool idea. We played the business simulation games, and yeah, it's usually not people's cup of tea. This is a cool idea, though, to mix the gambling in with it. Uh-oh. Looks like chemicals didn't do so well. Petroleum's all right. Motor car. And then we didn't do anything in shipping. Shipping jumped big time, though. All right, let's see what we did with metals. So all this is happening on the second turn, or week 2. Oh, it came about the same. Didn't see it jump too much. But I need more money for gambling. We need our stocks to do well so I can blow it all. I want to try the horse races and see, because it only let us pick one of the options. That's a great idea, Manly. You do have the option to not gamble, but we are totally We're going to bet on a horse race. Here we go. We got red rum. We got Arkle, Minstrel, Spectrum, and Fatty. Wow. And then you can go to the racetrack. Okay, so we can pick. Oh, I want to bet on so many of these horses. The odds are 6-1 for red rum. These are great names. Let's go with red rum. And let's do, how much do I got? Let's do 1,000. That's 6-1. That looks all right. I don't care about Arkle, though. Minstrel, no. Spectrum, no. You got to bet on Spectrum. 3-1. Let's do 1,000 on Spectrum. And then just for fun, because we're going to say we risk it all, let's say Fatty. This is the terrible one. Let's say his odds aren't so good this race. I have no idea how they program this in. But let's say Fatty, let's do 5 grand on Fatty. If Fatty wins, we're gonna be in. Yes, maybe he will murder their competition. I love it. But if Fatty wins, we're gonna do great. All right, let's go to the racetrack. Let's see how they represent this. There it is. Enter. We're just going to watch the race. Yeah, we watch it. Come on, Red Rum. Fatty's doing better than Spectrum, at least right now. Come on, Fatty. Is Arkle going to be the winner? I didn't do anything in Arkle. If he's the... Come on, come on, come on. We also didn't get to do specifics of horse race betting. You know, who's going to be first, second, or third. Yeah, it looks like Red Rum's going to pull through. You have to wait for the slow ASCII horses or the character set horses of the ZX Spectrum. Come on. You can do it. Go, Red Rum, go. Yes, Kun, that's right. All right, nope. Looks like we lost it. Minstrel won. We lose it all. Because no one won. Yeah, we just threw all the money away. Sweet. So there you go. That's a quick taste of Inheritance. Cool idea, and there is a whole second section to this too. Of all the games you can play across all home computers right now, this is unique. There is nothing that's like this, mixing gambling and business simulation. So it has elements we've seen before, but it also has things we have not seen before. Yeah, I'm looking over the chat. James has already thrown out 3.5 stars. I'm wanting to start there as above average. Usually we say the 3-star range right about here is average for all the games you could play. This one's awesome. Really cool concept. The only thing, though, is most of the other business simulation games we play, it's multiplayer. You can take turns with other friends or other people. This is only one player. So this is you by yourself. Maybe you got some people behind you having fun with it. But yeah, I'll still say 3.5 stars for Inheritance. Too cool. Fun times. And you know you're going to see something new because we're playing everything. Now it's time to put the video game playing on pause, or hit the break key. If you're on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, turn off that cassette tape. All the gaming's done. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, it's not American soccer, it's international soccer on the Atari 2600. And invaders are invading again on several different systems. That's it for today, and like I always say, if you could go back to November 1982, what game would you play? Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.